Thank you, thank you. My name is Ruth Jen. I am the founder and CEO of Peach Foundation. First of all, I want to thank you guys inviting me, giving me this opportunity. I love Yelp. I told my daughter that I'll be speaking at Yelp. She was so excited because she grew up with Yelp. And there's never a day go by we don't Yelp. Yeah, so thank you. I'm here to share my experience with you of managing Peach Foundation in the last 19 years. So what is Peach? We are a group of, this foundation is a 501c3 foundation. We funded 19 years ago with a group of concerned American citizens. And what do we do? Okay, we focus, in the beginning, we focus on the poorest area in China. So we chose Yunnan province. So Yunnan is like right next to Tibet, okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful place with my children, about 95% of them are minorities, okay? And their Mandarin is like their second language. They don't learn Mandarin until they go to school. Okay, so in the beginning, we chose kids. The annual income is about, the family annual income is about 100. But with the economical growth in China, now we chose kids, the family income should not exceed $1,500 a year, okay? And we would send them to school from middle school, high school, all the way through college. And right now, we have helped more than 13,000 children, and out of 13,000 children, 3,000 have graduated from colleges. And they are working in various posts, such as teachers. We have many, many teachers. They love being a teacher. Government officials, they love being a government officials. It has power, status. Doctors, they love being a doctors, because never go out of jobs. And we have bankers, engineers, all sort of posts. And I am very proud to say our girls to boys ratio is 2-to-1. We have about 66% girls and 34% boys. Why? Because girls are truly the group still being discriminated. And I will tell you more about that later. And our OSP, which stands for Orphan Children in the Single Parent Family, OSP, is about 35%. Why? Because they are the bottom of the bottom, and they really need our help, okay? And we give them $150 a year for the middle school, $300 a year for the high school. And in the college, we give them college loan, which is interest-free. And after they graduated and find a good job, in 4 years, they can pay us back. We also built small library for the elementary schools. We have about 850 of them. We do provide teacher training, and we provide medical treatment to our children. And we give them garment, mosquito net, scarf, gloves, And our biggest project is the summer camp, English summer camp, and English winter camp, okay? So this is basically what we do. So why why are we unique? You heard a lot of foundation doing the same thing. So why Peach is different from other foundation? I often say, if the money can solve the problem, that problem is not a problem, okay? Our children, yes, they do need money, but more, their problem is here. They need love. They need love, okay? That's why the title of my speech is The Power of Love, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate to you how much love you give that person can transform that person. You know, you would think a year, you know, your parents, a lifetime. I'm going to show you later. I have done, I give 10 minutes of my time to a stranger child and really change her life. And I will tell you the story later. Okay. And our children, because they are the bottom of the bottom, and they have very low self-esteem, okay? And the village people are very cruel to their village neighbors. You know, if you are the bottom of the bottom, especially if you are the girls, the neighbor will come to you and harass you. Why do you go to schools? You are only a girl and you are such a poor girl. Why don't you just marry yourself off? That is what you should do. You don't belong in school. And what can you do with school? You know, you need to marry somebody sooner or later. So why waste your time? And children hear this all the time. And if they are, you know, being pressed by their neighbors day in, day out, many of them would drop out. But after they met us, I tell them, I said, this neighbor, when they tell you to marry off, are they thinking for your best interest, or are they just making fun of you? Have they ever helped you? No. They tell you to marry off. Is that for your best interest? No. Then why do you listen to them? Oh, I don't know, Auntie Jen. I just, you know, they tell me that I cannot make it. So I guess I cannot. I said, if you drop, then they're going to say, see, I predict you cannot make it. And now, see, I'm so smart. I knew it. Okay. So I constantly encourage my children. You can make it. Don't listen to all these neighbors. Okay. One day when you make it, they'll all come to kiss your ass. Okay. Not kick your ass, kiss your ass. Okay. So this is what we do. Okay. We reach to the children's heart. And by how do we reach to the children's heart? We have an English summer camp, and Adela was a teacher, and she can be a witness. In 7 days, just merely 7 days, day one, the kid cannot even pick up their head looking at you. Is that right, Adela? But by day 7, oh my God, they are all over you. Why? Because they feel comfortable with you. Because they know you truly care for them. Because you don't judge them. Because you praise them, which they never been experienced before all their life. The teacher don't praise them. The neighbors put them down. Nobody think they are good enough. Well, if you are Chinese, then you will know what I'm talking about. That is our Chinese culture. Parents don't praise kids. Parents don't hug children. You know, it's never good enough. You rank number 1 in the whole school, but why your math is 99 points, not 100 points? Where does that 1 point go? And that is Chinese culture, okay? And that is a huge, huge put down on the children. So after a week, you know, we give nothing but encouragement, praise to our children. And they know they are different. They all of a sudden, they can reveal their true self, a self they never knew they exist. Okay? That is the power of love. When you are surrounded in love, you can freely become yourself, the self you don't even know you exist. Isn't that amazing? Believe me, I have witnessed more than 13,000 children transform. From day 1 to day 7, they are totally different people. And then what else? We are unique. First of all, we are very transparent. When I set up Peach, I set up in the eyes of a donors. I ask myself, if I'm a donor, what kind of foundation I would like to donate? I want it to be transparent. I want the money to be accounted for. And that's how I designed Peach Foundation. So we encourage the donors write to the children directly, okay? In the beginning, we even give the donor 2 stamps, Chinese stamps, so the children can reply without costing them any money. But now with the internet, you know, you can email to your children, but the children, of course, has no access to email. So you will email to the office in Kunming, and then my staff will forward the letter to the children in the school, okay? It only costs like less than 1 yuan, and that is like 10 cents, okay? So you can talk to your children, you can ask your children, how much did you receive? Oh, I donated $300, times 7, they received 2,100 yuan, okay? And we have summer camp. You can personally meet your children. We even put your children in your class so you can teach your children. And we have annual home visit. You can visit your children at their home, okay? And we have annual progress report written by your own children, okay? And then we have home visit to verify the authenticity of your children's economical situation, okay? Yes, we do give money, all your money to your children, but what kind of children is this? Maybe it's the principal's relative, right? Maybe it's the government officials' relatives, right? Therefore, to verify the home condition is very important. We can do almost 99% verifications, okay? There's 1% maybe we cannot do. What kind of children we don't visit? There are children, they live, takes 2 days to get there, okay? First, you walk 8 hours. I mean, the children walk 8 hours to their relative, stay overnight, and then walk another 8 hours home. So for those children, I tell my staff, I said, don't bother, you know. If anybody lives 16 hours away without road, they're not going to be well off. And we also keep in touch with our children after they graduate. Well, one thing is they owe us college loan, so we need to know where they are. Okay. Secondly, the most importantly, they are my children. I want to know how they are doing, you know? And then every 2 years, I will throw a party in Kunming when I visit. No, I visit Kunming 3 times a year, but I throw party every other year, you know? And my college graduate children will come back to visit me, you know? We have about 80 graduate or become our donors now. Now they are helping their siblings, so to speak, okay? We are very lean. We only have 1 part-time employee in the US, and we have 8 paid workers in Kunming. Kunming is the capital of Yunnan province, okay? And out of the 8 employees, 7 are my Peach children. And this is how I designed it when I set up Peach. I said the people working in Peach has to be my children. So after they graduated from college, they come to Peach, and now 7 out of 8 are my Peach children. I'm so proud. You know, they speak the language. I mean, they speak the poor children language. I'm not talking about they speak Mandarin. Of course, they speak Mandarin, but they understand what Peach children suffer from, so they can speak their language, which is very important. You know, if you are from a wealthy family, you can never understand why this bunch of children have such a low self-esteem. You can never understand unless you were there before. And my staff were there before. They are the ones who have no self-esteem growing up. So they know how to talk to the Peach children. So we have about 10% in admin cost, 3% in operation, and we put 87% into our projects. Okay. So I am going to give you 2 examples how I transform, I break into the child's heart just in 10 minutes. The first example, it happened about 5 or 6 years ago. I went on the home visit. And so our typical home visit is I will interview the new kids, you know, recommended to Peach, to verify if they are truly poor or not. Then the following days, then we go to their home. But we may not hit all kids. Me and my staff, we hit about 40%. And the other 60% will be verified by my Peach College students during their winter break, okay? But if I've interviewed a child in 10 minutes, I have 70% assurance if this child is truly poor or not. And I have done this for 19 years. Trust me, I know. So I was looking at her application. She ranked #1 in the class, you know, which is no surprise. So I look at her, she has no mother, you know, which is very common, right? We have 35% OSP, right? So I said, and she put down her father is a farmer, which is, you know, common. So, but I need to ask. So I said, what does your father do? And she said, my father died last week. And she started to laugh. Giggle, 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 giggle. No, I said, oh my God, what is wrong with you? So I didn't say anything. I said, how did he die? And she said, well, I don't know. The night before he was okay. The following day he died. Well, I guess he drank too much. Giggle, giggle, giggle. And then I asked her, when you don't have mother, what happened to your mother? And she said, oh, my mother ran away when I was very small. Kiko, kiko, kiko. And I said, you put down, you have a deceased brother. Okay, I said, when did your brother pass away? And she said, 3 years ago. Giggle, giggle, giggle. She just giggled all the way. And then she said, her father did not drink before, not until her brother died. Then she wanted to giggle. She giggled, just couldn't finish her giggle. At that point, I don't want to interrogate her. I don't want to ask her more questions. You know, I have determined she qualified. You know, and she just put her head down. Okay, but all this time she couldn't look at my face. She couldn't look at my eyes. Okay, and now she just put her head down. And I want to say something to her. You know, I mean, this girl is totally broken. I want to say something to her, but I don't know what to say. What can you say to a person when she's giggling for all the misfortune? So I reached to her, I hold her hand, and I said, look at my eyes, look at my eyes. You know, I want to buy some time to figure out something to say. And she just wouldn't, and thank God she did not, because I still cannot come up with the things I want to say. So I said, look at my eyes, look at my eyes. Then she picked up her head and she looked at my eyes. That split second, I thought about something. I said to her, I would not give you up, even when you give yourself up. And then she broke down and cried. At that second, I know I got her. I got her. Okay. So then after that, I said, oh, this is a powerful sentence. I will not give you up, even when you give yourself up. Oh, I said, I need to engrave it on my sleeve, you know, and run into a difficult situation, throw this out. And then the following week, I run into another girl. She was recommended by her teacher the last minute. Therefore, I do not have any of her information. But the teacher did tell me that her mother ran away when she was young. This is very common in the village in China, very common, because our children, 90% have domestic violence, okay? If they have parents, 90% have domestic violence, okay? So it's very common. And the mother would just run away or divorced or being killed, okay, or being killed. And I will tell you that later. So she said, so the teacher said, her father killed his own brother and went to jail for 18 years, you know, sentenced to 18 years, okay. So I said, okay, I understand. This girl was in her 7th grade, okay. So the teacher called her to meet me. So I said to her, I remember the very first thing I said to her is, I said, the whole village laughed at you, right? She nodded her head. And I said, they are all bad people. Anybody laugh at you are bad people. And I said, your teacher told me you have a younger sister. She nodded her head. I said, you stay with your uncle. Is your uncle nice to you? Is your uncle's wife nice to you? And I said, that's understandable. Okay, let's forgive her. Okay. So she would not say a word. She would not say a word. And she was so fragile, so pale, you know, standing in front of me, so skinny. And I feel like if I just tap her, she would just flip over. and she will not respond to me. So I run out of things to say. So I said, well, I got to go now, may I hug you before I leave? So I hug her. And she has no response to my hug. She's just lying in my arm like a dead fish. Have you hugged somebody who doesn't hug you back? Well, I'm sure you guys, you have that experience a lot, but she did not push me away, okay? She's just like a dead fish, okay? So I said, well, that's no fun. So I start to kind of let her go. At that second, she started to hug me tighter and tighter, and she was shaking in my arm because she was crying in silence, okay? But she was shaking like a leaf, and I don't know how long has gone by, a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I just feel I need to go, So I kind of push her, and finally she let me go. Okay, guess what? Since then, she wrote to me every year. She wrote to me every year. Just last year, she was in the college. She studied nursing. She came to visit me. And I said, I'm so glad because I said, I want to hear your voice. Until this day, I don't know how your voice sounds. So in 10 minutes, you can really, really change a person. And I have done it to many, many children. So I want to, this book is a celebration of our 15th anniversary. We are going to 19th, okay? And here we have many success stories, and I just want to share that with you very quickly. So this boy, Li Wenxue, when I met him, he was in the 5th grade, okay? And his sister dropped out of school at 5th grade too to support him. And his father is mentally ill. And I remember one day I went to visit him, and there's nobody home. So we just pushed the door into the house, It was pitch dark. And so the teacher said, nobody home. And I said, yeah. Why lock the door? There's nothing in here. Then a few minutes later, oh my God, I saw this man at the corner sitting on a bed, okay? His hair is messy like a bird nest. It was his father. He was there all this time, But anyway, Li Wenxue, he did not pass the high school exam, and he decided to drop out. And I remember that day in the summer camp, he told me he did not make it, so he's going to drop out. I dragged him to the library. I said, no, you are not dropping out. I'm going to send you to a vocational school. You need to learn a skill, okay? You can be a carpenter, you can be an electrician, you can be anything. You can be a cook, you can be anything. I cannot let you drop out. Took me a whole hour. Finally, he said, okay, he will listen to me. So we sent him to a professional school, so to speak, and he learned welding. So now he's a welder, making good money. And now he's supporting his sister. His sister married a very bad guy, lazy, violent. So he's sending 1,000 yuan a month to his sister because the sister had 2 children. And then this guy, Li Yanglong, he is our only guy who made it to Tsinghua Daxue. Tsinghua is like a MIT in China, okay? And then I remember his autobiography. He said, there are two things in my life that bothers me, hurt me so much. One thing is my sister quit school for my sake, so I can stay in school. My parents cannot afford all of us going to school. The second thing bothers me is every semester when the school started, I have to carry a bag of money full of 1 yuan, 50 cents, 20 cents to the school to pay for tuition. And the disgusting facial expression on the cashier really, really embarrassed me. And this is the two things I can never forget. Okay, now he is a top engineer in Sichuan province. Su Ziting, his father killed his own mother. No, the father killed the grandma. The father killed the grandma and went to jail. And the mother ran away a long time ago, okay? So Su Ziting was an orphan when we took him in. And now he is a surgeon. Li Yanfang, she is a judge. Zhang Shanghong, she is a nurse. And she donated 5,000 yuan last year. 5,000 yuan is about $700. That's a lot of money. She make about $700 a month, and she donated. And she told me her sister was sold by her parents for 5,000 yuan 10 years ago. Okay, sold it to a guy, and after she had a son, the guy divorced her. I said, that's good. I said, that's good. Who want to stay the rest of your life with this guy? You know, your sister can start all over. And Shafang, this is my most proud story. This girl, see in white, she is a nurse. When I met her, I went to home visit her brother, but she was at home. She has dropped out of school since grade 3. Now she's 14 years, okay? So she dropped out 6 years ago. And then I asked the parents, can I put her back in school? If we pay for everything. And the parents said, okay. So I took her immediately to the nearby elementary school, pay the tuition, $15 US, 15, okay? Get her books, a little bag, you know. As I was leaving, I told her, I said, Shafang, one thing worries me the most is your peer. They are 3rd grade. They are like 9 years old, and you are 14. Can you take it? She said, yes. I said, that's my girl, okay? As I was leaving, I still have a picture, a dream. You know, oh, okay, now she's 14, 3rd grade. Okay, by 21, she will finish middle school. 24, she will finish high school. 28, she will finish college. And her life will be so different, right? I was so happy. So I already painted a picture for her. Every year I went back, I would check her up. And she was hanging there. It's a lot of pressure to hang there. And I'm so proud of her. Well, she did not really make it to high school. So she went to the nursing vocational school. But that's just as good, right? Unfortunately, her brother, the one we took in, dropped out in the high school. So now she has to support the brother. Yan Guiqing, He's a lawyer. He is peach lawyer. Now I can sue anybody in China. Seriously. And I do. Okay. His father is mute. His mother is a deaf, but he's brilliant. And Li Guanghui, this boy, he told me his father, every time he went home, his father would beat him up, which is normal. It's normal. 90% of the family, father are very violent and they are alcoholic. But what's not normal is I never really interfere with any family's domestic issues. But for whatever reason, one day I was in their village. I went to talk to the father. I said, can you not beat up, the boy, your Li Guanghui? Okay, I said, after he graduated from college, he will make a lot of money and he will take care of you. Would you please not beat him up? And he kind of nodded his head. And a year later, I saw Li Guanghui. I said, how's your father? And he said, his father lately is pretty good to him. Yeah. And Shili Mei, my Lucy, she is my employee. Okay. She told me she has a brother. And just few weeks before when she was in the last month of her middle school, okay, just the last month of the middle school before the high school entrance exam, her father told her that they cannot afford to send both kids to school. So she need to drop out so the brother can go to school. So she said, okay. So the father said, if you are not going to sit in for the high school entrance exam, you should ask the teacher, give you back the entrance exam fees, like, SAT fees, whatever fees, you should ask your teacher to give it back to you. That's about $20 US. So she went to ask the teacher, and the teacher said, okay, I'll give it to you, And then later that day, she saw the teacher and the principal was talking about her from the distance. And the next day, the teacher came to her and said, oh, Shili Mei, you know what? There's a Peach Foundation. They give us 2 space, and I will give you 1. And that's how we save her. She's one of the very, very fine employees I have. And guess what? We took her brother in too, So it's a happy ending. So let me see. And Hao Wenjun, he is an orphan as well. And he told me his mother ran away with another man. The way he wrote it, the way he said it is like, one day this guy was bicycling around around his house, bicycling. And next thing is he's teaching his mother how to bike. A month later, the mother disappeared, So we know the mother went with this man. And then he said his brother was drowned in the river. And his father was running up and down along the bank 7 days to look for the body and couldn't find the body. And since the brother passed away, drowned, never recovered the body, his father went like mentally ill and died in few years. So he became an orphan. So when we took him in, he's already an orphan. Now he is a manufacturer manager. Okay. So this book, anybody read Chinese? Oh, okay. If you want it, I can give you one. Oh, but this is all in our website. This is their story written by my children. Okay. So I want to talk to you about the return of giving. We know about return of investment, return of giving. So when you help a kid, you don't just help this person. All my Peach kids carry the burden of the whole family. My kid, if I ask them, what is your dream? Every single one will say, oh, I want to take care of my parents. Every single one. If they have two parents, I want to take care of them. One parent, I want to take care of them. If they are orphan, I want to take care of my grandparents. Whoever they stay with, I want to take care of my uncles if the uncles support them. Okay. Every single one, 13,000 children. This is their number one dream. I never hear my daughter said, what's your dream? If she has 100 dreams, I'm not even going to be within 100. Okay. I am jealous. So their number one goal is to take care of their family. It's like they live for their family. All their effort, all their struggle is for their family. And they do, okay? As soon as they are financially independent, their very first thing is to build a house for the family, for the parents, for the grandma, grandpa, and I'm very happy because the parents are old. They are getting old. They lose the power. They are farmers. They lose the ability to farm. They need to be taken care. Okay. So I calculated very conservatively. Every child will have carried 20 family members, parents, siblings, children, or sibling, grandparents, 20 minimum. Okay. So I often tell our donor, you did not just help one, you helped 20 and counting. Imagine all my children, after they graduate from college, their children will be different, right? Their children will be educated, right? The vicious cycle of poverty is broken right there. Right there. The next generation is different, So the 20 is the minimum counting. So I want to briefly talk about the looking forward and our challenge, okay? Since last year, we've been severely persecuted by China government. They find all kind of way to oppress us, but I will not leave my children unless they kick me out, okay? Or lock me up, or shut me down, okay? I'm prepared. I am prepared to stay, okay? But I'm not stupid. I will not put all my eggs in one basket. Therefore, last year, I opened another site at Myanmar. Okay, now we are sponsoring 300 orphans with 40 orphanage. Okay, so I am going to tell you briefly the project in Myanmar. Myanmar is the poorest country in the world. If not the poorest. Well, it's not the poorest, but it's on the bottom of the bottom. The GDP is about $1,300 a year, okay? The country has been shut down for more than 50 years from the world, okay? And they just embraced the world about 10 years ago. The country is so chaotic, so chaotic. They have vehicle driving on the left or the right, The educational system is horrible. Their high school is only 2 years, okay? We have 4 years, right? They have 2 years. And even the 2 years is horrible, okay? The medical system is horrible. You know, Myanmar is about the only country in the Southeast Asia doesn't have coronavirus. You know why? Because they don't know they have coronavirus. They did not even know they contracted. Oh, I'm having a cold. I have cold all the time. Let me just kind of, shrug it off. But I said, everything is horrible in that country except the people. People are so nice, so nice. They are so content, you know. Another good thing about this country, it's a much freer country than China. They can access to YouTube, to any social media. They have freedom of speech. Can you believe it? And the condition of the orphanage is horrible. You know, I stay in the dorm, and I can see the blue sky through the roof. You know, and the children are so malnutritious. We partner with a foundation called Aimian, Loving Myanmar Foundation. And they have a project called One Bowl of Porridge. Okay, it's $30 a year. What they do is they provide one bowl of porridge, rice soup, to the children in the morning for breakfast. So the children would not pass out in the middle of the day. Okay, so our job is to help the children with good academic record from middle school, finish middle school, high school, college education. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to replicate our success in China and do it in Myanmar. Okay. Okay. Last 2 minutes, I want to introduce a concept to you. Very often, I hear my donor says, "Oh, I just donated $300. I didn't really do anything." You know? Before I think that way too. I feel I have done too little for my children. But then, think about this. Think about if you are in a pitch dark room for years, and all of a sudden, a candle is lit. Now you can see. Oh, you see there's a door. And I tell my donors, you are that candle in the pitch dark room for the children. Do not underestimate yourself. With your 300, with your little kindness and your little love, that means a whole world to the children. Okay? Because that's all they have. With this candle, with this, I tell the children, now you have us. Go ahead and dream. Go ahead and dream. You know, sky is your limit. Okay? We'll be always there for you. We are your wings to reach the sky. And the children are doing it. The children are doing it. Okay, thank you very much.